Again, ciao, hi, hey, hola amigos. It's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. And as I mentioned recently, so I'm plugging in. But anyway, as I mentioned recently, hopefully I won't have any tech issues either. But sorry, anyway, as I mentioned recently, I meant to do this on Friday the 13th, but for this month, but I didn't get round to as I got lazy and or demotivated or whatever the difference is. But yeah, this month, if I'm honest, I don't want to be too negative, but it has been. I'm trying to be positive, and I suppose the weather has changed, which I would hope would improve my mood. But I was going to try and think about things that I'm appreciative of. I think I've liked the number 18 today, being the 18th. It's like positive affirmations, but I don't know much about positive affirmations or whatever. So, and I would struggle. Being potentially autistic, I suppose I would struggle to sort of lie to myself. I guess I'd see it that way. So I take things quite literally, perhaps. I guess. But yeah, I got to admit, it has been. I'd say I went to think of like March to the very victory. But I've got to admit, so far it's over halfway through the month as well. It's mainly been March to loss or March to defeat at the moment so far. March to the loss or March to the defeat or whatever. So yeah, it's not been too great. As I said, I could call it March to loss or March to the defeat or whatever. But yeah, I was hoping as it got past Friday the 13th, or as it got past halfway through the month, I would finally get some motivation. But yeah, I was hoping today to be motivated because it's like the 18th. I try and think of like being positive. I'm probably using the term positive affirmations wrongly, but I was hoping to wake up early, go through my writings, and read and like Google like positive affirmations and read through like things about that to sort of be inspired by them. But anyway, it is what it is. But as I mentioned yesterday, and I was thinking about recently, instead of doing it on Friday the 13th, which I missed out on, I thought I would do it spread over a few days. So I thought I'd do part one today. I meant to do it about 1 o'clock, but because I woke up so late, I think I didn't get my butt and the rest of me out of bed till like 1:30 or something ridiculous like that. And then I started watching TV and getting lazy and demotivated as usual. But if I'm honest, I was hoping, but yeah, it's like past 5 o'clock now already. So yeah, I kept delaying it and thinking like, okay, maybe I'll do it by 4 o'clock or whatever. But it is what it is. But yeah, these are my worst fears anyway for football. I know it's like first world problems. You might say it's only football, first world problems and that kind of thing. But anyway, so these are my worst fears for football, at least parts 1 to 10. And I know you could say in the grand scheme of things, with all wars going on and all these horrible things going on, it's it's only football, a first world problem. But I thought I'd mention it anyway, and because Italy's Unification Day is on the 17th, I thought I'd talk about football a lot in March, as well as other things. But anyway, I'm going to try and get to the point anyway. So here goes. So number one, I guess I fear not putting my ideas into action, not getting my ideas off the ground, and also I fear the Italian national team like not getting to the World Cup, or or just as bad, I guess, in many ways. Although it would be really embarrassing not to get to the World Cup for the third time in a row. I suppose getting there, the whole point of getting there to me would be to go on and win it. I guess second place is because I do have quite a competitive spirit in some ways, at least in football. And sometimes I want to play Monopoly. I take it too far and that kind of thing. But I'm not as competitive as I used to be, I guess, in many ways. But I've mellowed a bit in my old age. But over time and whatnot. But yeah, Italy not getting to the World Cup would be really embarrassing and it'd be bad and that kind of thing, and it would show Italian football has a lot to improve on. It could kickstart like people really get involved in like I don't want to put pressure on the management and that kind of thing, the people who run Italian football, but I think it should be, if they don't get to the World Cup this time, I think all of them should be fired, all the board. I wanted to say that, but I'm stuck in two minds. I think if I say that, and not that they'll necessarily listen to my video, but if I say that and the word gets out, and then it somehow, I thought, like for instance, typing it on the Facebook and or YouTube channel, the Facebook page and YouTube channel for Italian football. But if I write that and I sort of express that, then Sorry, my cat's going nuts. Sorry. But if I write that and express that, then I guess it puts pressure on the players. But maybe it could kickstart them saying, we've got to go out and win this. But I think part of me thinks they should be replaced, the board, with former players, or all those involved in football who actually know about football and have the technical knowledge of football and that kind of thing. But it could kickstart something. But I guess not qualifying would not be that much worse than not going on to win it anyway. But it would at least show progress if we went into the World Cup, at least this time. But to fail to qualify the third time, I think there should be like major changes. But obviously, I'd like them to get there. Also, just mainly that the Italian national team not becoming top, like not winning the most World Cups over time. Like I hope the world will last long enough for the Italian national team to win the most World Cups, and I'd love to go and coach and things like that, share ideas and philosophies which I dream will help Italy to get back to the top. But I'll talk more about that another time because these are more of my fears, and I've over-explained things about. But moving on that note to point number two, a second fear is like Italian club teams never becoming top. Again, hope the world will last long enough. Sometimes I fear the world's going to end so soon. And again, this is probably a bit silly, but and saying again, first world problems, it's only football and that kind of thing. But I hope my coaching and ideas, I hope I get to go to Italy and share my ideas of coaching and put my ideas into action. I say my fear is that I suppose not getting to express my ideas and have a go. And the other thing is perhaps even if I do, them not working as quick as I'd like. But the second thing I would say is about Italian club teams not becoming top, and I'd love for the world to last long enough, at least for Italian club teams to win the most. You can end the world after that, God, but please let the world last long enough for the Italian national team to win and Italian club teams. I remember when I was playing some card games with this kid and a game called Double, and he said, "Can we play till I win?" And for a joke, like I said later on, like I didn't say it because I thought it'd be too rude, but I said to my brother, I told him for a joke that I told that kid, like, I don't want to be here all day. But yeah, I guess it would have to last quite a long time for Italy to get to the top. But hopefully not. Hopefully we'll prove wrong. But yeah, that makes sense. As ever. But yeah, on that note, if you have any questions or thoughts of your own, please do post them either on Facebook or preferably both on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook, YouTube, or preferably both. And hopefully it won't be too harsh. But moving on to number three, Celtic. My fears for Celtic, I don't know if I should say these ones, and I don't want to jinx it, but I guess my fear is that the rankers, I call them Rangers, overtaking us. But I guess I fear, like, heaven forbid Celtic, I don't want to jinx this, but heaven forbid Celtic being involved in a scandal or things or something like that going wrong, which would mean we'd get demoted, which would be very embarrassing given how much we've mocked our rivals for doing so. Hope, God willing, Godspeed, that would never happen. But I think, like, and this is a really embarrassing history for the club, like at the boys' club, a part of Celtic, where young lads were trained in football. There was unfortunately, there was an abuse scandal. But I imagine if like Celtic got punished for that, heaven forbid, and like demoted down the divisions, like what happened to our rivals, or even heaven forbid went out of business or got demoted, or not quite as bad, but it'd still be quite bad if we got point deductions or any other punishments. I guess the club have had to pay compensation, which is fair enough. And it has been an embarrassing thing, but I thought like the worst case scenario would be like if we went out of business, just as bad if we got demoted or trophies taken away from us, and or if we got points deduction would be almost as bad, but not quite as bad as that. Obviously, if we got demoted, we'd have to work our way back up the league and that kind of thing. And obviously, we mocked our rivals for the same thing, so it would be quite embarrassing. But I think it would be unfair if Celtic were punished for the crimes that happened in the club's past, whereas our rivals were not, for like celebrating colonialism and killing Catholics and things like that. But yeah, I fear those injustices, I guess. So basically, my first three fears are the opposite to what I want to happen. I've got all these, I suppose, are kind of the opposite to what I want to happen, especially the first three, because obviously, I love for the Italian national team to get to the World Cup, but also to win the most World Cups over time, ASAP, probably. Secondly, I'd love for Italian club teams to win the most trophies in Europe, and I suppose because European teams are known to be the best, would be the most respected league, hopefully, and for Celtic to continue to win Scottish trophies. But yeah, so the opposite would be the opposite of that happening, I guess. I was going to say a few things on the positive side, but because I want to focus more on negatives for this video, for these videos. As usual, I want to do them in 4 parts, but this time over a few days rather than just in one. But yeah, so I guess my worst fears for Celtic would be them getting put out of business. I suppose a close second would be going down the divisions, because it would take us ages to get back up, I'm sure, or by the time we did, the rankers would probably win loads of trophies, heaven forbid. And I guess other than that, getting points deduction would be the third worst punishment. And I suppose losing reputation from investors and sponsors. I don't want to focus too much on it, but those are some of my fears, if I'm honest. I do wonder whether I should mention them. I'll focus too much on the negatives. But on that note, moving on to number 4. As I say, I suppose Italian teams and Celtic not winning the most trophies. Which I suppose I covered in points 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, not, as I say, not being able to put my ideas into action, not being able to challenge wars and things like that, make peace through football, and promote my ideas generally and things like that. I'd say the first 3 being the opposite to my dreams of seeing the Italian national team and Italian club teams winning the most trophies, and also Celtic to continue to win the most Scottish trophies. And I was gutted when Celtic didn't win. Well, we've lost 2 finals in a row and that kind of thing, and we're struggling a little bit in the league compared to our usual record, but hopefully we can turn it around. Number 5, not being able to focus on my ideas. I often feel like getting distracted. Heaven forbid I don't want to preempt this, but a lot of time I feel like my mum's going to call me or distract me when she calls me at the top of her voice, like, my God, that's really annoying. It's one of the annoying things my mum does, but yeah, I find that really annoying. I don't know if that's just a me thing or a potentially neurodivergent thing or whatever, or if people are honest, they would find that annoying as well, I'm sure. It disturbs the flow. I think if you look at like snooker, tennis, or exams people do, or whatever, things where people have to focus and people have to be silent. That's what I like when I'm trying to write or make videos or things like that. I also wish I didn't distract myself too much, but yeah, I guess I fear not being able to put my ideas into action. Number 6, I fear Italian teams not improving. Number 7, I fear Celtic being complacent and not improving and not winning more trophies, and especially the rankers going ahead of us. The rankers, I'll call them. Number 8, I fear Italian teams being again, not learning things and being violent and prejudice and things like that. Number 9, I guess because of my patterns, I wanted to, as usual, focus on trying to think of 40 sort of fears I have for football. But yeah, I guess when I did try and think of that, I thought I'm probably going to struggle for part 2, 3, and 4, but I guess I'll give it my best shot. I guess part 4, I'll probably think of in the future, like my fearful imagination. So I might recap a few points, or all the points, or whatever, or as many as I can at least. And number 10, as I say, Italian teams and Celtic not learning. I hope Celtic learns a lot from the child abuse scandal that happened, or things like that. I hope it will learn to improve, and as a club will condemn any sectarianism, any sort of links with the IRA or things like that. I don't think Celtic supporters should join the military, but I don't think they should support the IRA either. But yeah, I may dream. Yeah, I feel like these wars affecting football as well, and children suffering and things like that, and children not getting to play football and things like that as well. But yeah, I think that covers everything for part 1, and I'm out. Please let me know what you think as ever, and please don't be too harsh. Peace and love, mate.